Thank you for listening to Life Improvement Radio. You are listening to a rebroadcast of a previously recorded show.
We're live at the Mind Book Fair, powered by Life Improvement Radio on the Toll Education Network. Again, tolltutor.net for more information. Twitter, Tolltutor, Neil S. Haley, Facebook, LinkedIn, Neil Haley, Instagram, Tolltutor, Pinterest, Neil Haley, and Google Plus, Neil Haley, and also on Periscope at Total Tutor. A really fun discussion with so many very interesting authors. But I have to welcome back to the program my co-host, Eric Rummel from Life Improvement Radio and Life Improvement Media. Eric, thanks for coming on the show and co-hosting with me today. We're running out of authors. It's almost the end of the fair, but another fun year for sure.
Oh, definitely. I've always loved doing the Miami Book Fair, and it's always great talking to so many interesting authors and learning all about the stuff that they do and what their passions are. And it's just a good time all the way around. I really enjoy it.
And what's so great is it's right before Thanksgiving, so we have programming for an entire week or almost 2 weeks, and we kind of can know, hey, that we're gonna have some turkey after this long journey of authors. So I'm excited to welcome to the program Robert Moehling. Robert, thanks for calling. How are you?
Well, I'm doing very fine. I appreciate the invitation. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Have you been enjoying the Miami Book Fair so far?
Oh yes, I have. It's been pretty great being a subject of an author, and it's been very intriguing to me because I'm a farmer and I raise a family, and I have a farm stand, and I entertain people with my fruit and vegetables and educate, and to be patted on the back as being something special, it's kind of weird, but I guess how I did it is special.
Well, that's what we want to find out for sure, and you're going to be part of the talk with the author today at 3:30. And what will you be discussing there?
Oh, he'll be discussing how unusual it was the way I got started. My dad put me out on a corner, penniless. I guess he couldn't sell his product, his cucumbers, at the broker's place there where they brought the vegetables. And the broker was going to dump him because the price was so cheap, and he needed fresher vegetables. They'd been in his cooler for a week. And my dad said, no, I'll take them back. So my dad took them back because he needed the boxes. He had no money to put his new picking of cucumbers in. And that's why he went to his broker to get some money to get more new bushels. So he dumped them out and put the new harvest in those bushels and brought them back. And a few of those bushels he put me as a 6-year-old kid on the side of the road at the corner of our farm. And absolutely nobody stopped that Saturday. The next Sunday, the very next day, my mom and dad apparently, I don't know how, I wasn't in the meeting, but they figured maybe the public didn't see me on the corner. Spray painted 2 signs on then hurricane shutters for the house, and parked the signs right next to me on each side, and left me there again the second day, and I sold out and walked home by supposedly around noon. I can't remember. I was told it was noon. And my dad was a little upset with me for not keeping working, and I told him I'd sold out. And then he was a little upset because he didn't have more cucumbers there for me. And but anyhow, we started doing it every weekend before the Christmas holiday. And by Christmas holiday, every day of the holiday, I was there with my signs and selling, and that was the beginning of Robert is Here. And that was back in 1959, the middle of November. And by Christmas of 59, that was my first Christmas that we were open. And this Christmas is going to be my 56th Christmas open in a row.
Wow, that's amazing.
In the same spot. That's really cool. And I had Cesar Becerra write this book. He became a customer. He became a fan. He became enthralled. When my son did a field trip with him, Cesar asked him to come along and talk to his class, his students in the class. They do the nature's classroom, and my son was talking to the class in the field, in our fields that I farm, and Cesar had a light go off in his head that there's more to this story than what he knows, and he begged me, and I told him what I wanted to do with the book, and because I want to leave a legacy for my great-great-grandchildren that won't know me. And as you heard, the story is really weird. I don't know if anybody has that kind of history for 56 years to start and stay at the exact same spot. and never leave any other, do any other venture in life. And it might not ever happen again, and I needed to put it in writing. So I got it done, and it's just amazing to me how wonderful I've been received. It's overwhelming, humbling.
And that's so great. And how did you develop that entrepreneurial mindset, especially with a fruit stand, and to stay the course every day for long?
I think I might be a little different kind of person. Weird might be the right word to say. I work every weekends. I work every holiday. It's a drive in me that I have such a responsibility to the community, because the community watched me grow in this corner, and from early age, when I was in high school, even my shop teacher, I was in auto shop, and everybody else would be dilling-dallying around, not really interested in what they were doing, and he would tell them, man, you got to get this under your belt, because this is going to be your livelihood. How are you going to make money? And he says, look at Robert, he doesn't even need this, and he's driving really hard, being a good mechanic. And his profession is already laid out for him. I was already in business for maybe 10, 12, 13 years, you know. I bought my first piece of property, 10 acres with a house and a car and a lawnmower when I was 14 years old. I was not a normal kid, you know.
And what a story, Eric, isn't it?
It is an amazing story, you know, and I'm just wondering how many generations of local folks have come by and visited you over the years and talked to you.
Absolutely incredible. It is so cool. I see it every day. My dad used to bring me here, or my grandfather used to bring me here on the way back from the Everglades National Park. We go fishing, and this kid, grown up to a man who's got great-grandchildren or got grandchildren, and he says, I just can't believe you're still here. You know, it is really rewarding to me. I have been blessed. It's just, it's a little bit overwhelming. If a person let it get to you, your head wouldn't fit in most buildings in Miami. But, you know, everybody's got to be grounded somehow. And my groundedness is, you know, my family. They're just, without my family, I couldn't have done any of this. All my kids, I sent them to college. I got 4 kids, and every one of them has come back with their college education, and basically they use it on the farm, wasting the titles that they have on the titles of Robert is here. And it's not really wasting, because the education of life is what college is.
Yeah. What about the future? Do you see any more room for growth or expansion? Are you guys thinking?
We are developing an idea with an architect, because my footprint has gotten so small in the building that I built in 80 and 79 that I have enough room for all of our product I want to sell. But we have gotten so busy just through word of mouth and completely repeat customers that we have no room for people in my store. It is bizarre to see, and we try to make it as friendly as we can and as entertaining as we can to maintain somebody to come in such a packed place and actually enjoy themselves. But for the 4 families, my 4 children, for their families to survive another 50 years, we might have to build maybe a surrounding bigger facility. Still old. We still add up on a paper bag, if you understand how retarded my store is. We do things like your grandparents did back in the day, and that's how I did it when I was a kid. But we're going to make the old store that I built in 79 maybe into a museum and put all my old antique junk in it. I love to collect tractors and trucks and stuff that I seen my grandfather use or my grandparents use or someone's on the farm back in the day. And that's what I love. And my kids love it too. And they're all in their 30s now. But my boys just absolutely, and my son-in-law, they're enthralled with the antique tractors and old stuff and the simplicity of how life used to be. And I'm the dinosaur left down here in South Florida. I've never clicked a mouse on the computer, and I vow not to.
Robert, where can we purchase Cesar's book and learn more about you and him? Where's the best place to go?
If you go to robertdesir.com, I sell it online, or you can call us direct at the fruit stand at Robert is Here. But at robertdesir.com, my daughter-in-laws, both of them, and my daughter, they all hammer the computer, and they return everything and make sure we take care of everything. We're self-published, and we will put it anywhere, I guess. We have several organizations contacting us trying to get it put into their establishments. But it's just, this is something that's turned in from my family knowing who I was after I'm dead, kind of thing, for my great-great-grandchildren and great-great-great, because, we don't have fires anywhere. We sit around campfires, and tell stories to your family, and it's really not done anymore that way. So this is just something I wanted to do because I am such a unique start, and I have such a grounded root with my community. We have a responsibility to let people know what happened, when, and where, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, great story, isn't it?
It is a terrific story, and I can't wait to read more about it in the future. I just think it's interesting how you've grown, and you've got all these great plans to grow in the future, and all your continued success. Congratulations. That's amazing.
Well, thank you so much. I'm letting the kids run with what they want to run with, and I figure that's the way I can keep them involved and staying, within the business, and it seems to work. I'm the blessed grandfather of 6 right now, grandchildren.
Wow.
And they all live within 3 miles. All live within 3 miles of me.
That's amazing.
And that's the best thing in the whole thing. You come in my store, I got a whole wall dedicated to my children and my grandchildren, and that's what it's all about. Yeah.
Exactly.
Awesome.
All right, Robert. Thanks for calling, and best of luck to you.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and God bless the world, and hopefully we survive all this insanity that's going on around the world.
Absolutely, Robert. Take care.
Thank you.
All right, you're listening to Author's Corner, powered by Life Improvement Radio and the Adult Education Network. We'll be back in just a moment.
Thank you for listening to Life Improvement Radio. The views expressed by show hosts or their guests are their own and shall not be construed in any way as advice from Life Improvement Radio. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our website. Personal perspectives expressed by the producers, writers, or editors will always be presented as such. Any rebroadcast or retransmission without the expressed written consent of Life Improvement Radio is strictly prohibited. Thanks for listening.